Hey everyone, it's Gary Enerson here. How y'all doing? I hope you had a good week. Welcome to Gary's Sketch Cards, episode number 31, where this week I am doing a sketch card of Bossk, the bounty hunter from The Empire Strikes Back. And as you can see, he's part of a series of sketch cards that I'm doing where I'm highlighting all the bounty hunters from The Empire Strikes Back. I'm also doing them in color this time around, so I wanted to do something different this week. So you can see that I've actually drawn the sketch card out already. I did that earlier on, and I wanted to work with the Copic markers, the Copic markers. I call them the Copic markers because they're Copics, I guess, because so many people say it Copics, so many people say it Copics. I know that the official Copics YouTube channel, I think the gal does call them Copics, but I call them the Copics because it's one of those things that you're never gonna get everybody to agree on, I guess. So until there's like some kind of law in America made where they're called one or the other, I'm gonna start calling them the Copics. So I hope y'all don't mind. But what I did was actually put this down in pencil first, and then I went ahead and decided to try to use the markers here to put some color into it, something a little different this time around. And I'm kind of experimenting with these because I haven't done a lot of pieces with the Copics, and so I'm trying to sort of work with new media and work with new materials and things like that. So I hope you like what you see. I hope you enjoy this. So it was fun for me, and I'm thinking that the series is going to look great in color. So I know I do a lot of mostly just black and white sketch cards with just a pencil and that, and I still will do those. But I figured the bounty hunters deserve the color, man. Like they just do. So you probably noticed earlier on, back in the beginning, that I had a Boba Fett and IG-88 sketch card, the first two in the series, already done. The Boba Fett was featured in another video that I did called In the Artroom. And I believe the title of it was something like Marker Mayhem with Boba Fett. And that was a real-time drawing of Boba Fett. So, yeah, continuing the series here in advance of Star Wars The Force Awakens as well. So that'll be coming out here in a couple of days, or a couple of weeks, actually, at the time of this recording. So I'm real excited about that. So you might be asking yourself, well, why am I doing the bounty hunters from The Empire Strikes Back right before The Force Awakens? The answer is kind of simple. For me, I just wanted to do a series of sketch cards with the bounty hunters. Also, there's a lot of The Force Awakens fan art that's going out there on YouTube and out on the internet and that, and a lot of it looks great. And I wanted to do something a little different. I do have a couple of sketch card videos with one with Captain Phasma and the other with Kylo Ren. So my Force Awakens fan art is kind of out there already. I figured I would wait until after I see the film, maybe once or twice before I kind of continue with that. So just to kind of get a little more familiar with the characters and whatnot. But I wanted to do something a little different for the Force Awakens. Now, as I said before, I'm working with the Copics markers, Copics. I can't even remember which order I put them in now. Working with these, it's getting a little bit easier each time I work with these markers. I tried to do a couple of practice drawings, practice colorings, if you will, from before, and get myself sort of more familiar with it before I tried to color on film and that. And I think this one turned out really good. I'm cool with it. I really like it. But I really like the markers, so I think I'll be doing a lot more of these color sketch card shows. You'll notice, though, that I didn't film the actual pencil drawing of Bossk, and I did that primarily because I kind of wanted to do something off the grid, so to speak. And when I drew this card, like I said, I just didn't have the camera going, but I realized that I figured maybe I would film myself coloring the sketch card. And again, I think it turned out great. And so yeah, so I think I'll be doing a lot more of these color sketch card shows from time to time. The other reason I filmed this was because I was actually trying to do a real time draw where I just kind of let the video go and I was just kind of talking and sort of explaining how I was going about coloring in this piece, and the audio came out just crappy. So, there's just a lot of static and a lot of stuff that didn't work out right. So, I figured as opposed to getting rid of it or just shelving this particular video, that I would use it on this episode of Gary E's Sketch Cards and just sort of do the talk over. So, I like I said, again, I kind of like the way this format works out. I may do a future episode where I draw the actual card itself and then put the color in and kind of maybe extend the time a little bit. So this one I think is going to time out at just over 11 minutes. And it's a fairly comfortable time, I think, for a lot of people. So we'll see. Again, if you like what you're seeing, let me know. If you like this card, if you want to see me draw any particular sketch card, I know there have been a couple of requests that have come down down the wire, and I will be getting to those in future episodes. So keep them coming. I love it. I love it when people put requests out there and let me know that they're watching, and I love that stuff. So thank you again, everybody. I do appreciate it. I do have to say also thank you so much to everybody who has been watching the videos. Special thanks to Jeff Lafferty. I believe he shared my last YouTube update video. So thanks, Jeff. You can check his YouTube channel out, and I will put a link down below. Jeff's another talented artist, and it was really cool that he threw the props my way. So thanks again, Jeff. I do appreciate it, man. So for this week, what I would like to discuss as far as the art instructional, art tips section of the video is learning to work with new materials. As I've said before, Copics aren't my strongest suit. I mean, they worked out pretty well on this card, I think. And the other one, the Boba Fett one you just saw, and the IG-88. But don't be afraid to try new mediums. If you're an artist, if you're a painter, if you use pencils, if you use charcoal, don't be afraid to try out new materials. It's real easy to kind of get stuck. I don't want to say in a rut, but you when you stay in your comfort zone for so long, it tends to become monotonous from time to time. You know what I mean? If you deny yourself the opportunity of learning new materials, working with charcoal pencils perhaps, or watercolors or something like that, something you've never really worked with or what have you. I mean, I guess I gave those two examples as two examples that I haven't really experimented with. If you deny yourself the opportunity to work with new materials, you deny yourself the opportunity of creating something brand new. You know what I mean? Most of us, when we draw or when we paint or whatever, we kind of get our technique sort of mastered, and then we just sort of rely on that, and if you're a working artist, I imagine that, that's what you have to do, is you have to rely on your technique and what but I think because of that, we tend to stay away from new mediums. And I would encourage anyone out there who is an artist to consider working with something new. It doesn't have to be a full-blown piece. It doesn't have to be whatever. It can be a practice sketch, or, just something you do for yourself for fun. It could be a mixed medium project like I'm doing here with Bossk. But I would definitely encourage you to kind of play around with some new art materials in that from time to time. Just kind of challenge yourself, learn a new skill, and, really kind of build your arsenal, so to speak, as an artist. So what I'm doing here is I'm trying to put a splatter effect on the background of the sketch card. And what I need to do, and this is going to go out of frame, and I do apologize a little bit here up top. So what I'm doing here is I'm watering down some acrylic paints and using a toothbrush. It's a very common practice. And I'm putting a splatter effect on the background. And the paper that I used was actually tracing paper, where I was able to sketch over, or trace over Bossk's face and, kind of isolate the background in that. And then I used a hairdryer there to kind of dry everything up. But in the end, I think everything turned out great. And like I said, I'm real excited to see The Force Awakens. And if you are too, hey, let me know. And that, I think, is going to do it for this week. So if you like what you're seeing, please like this video, subscribe, let me know you're out there, leave a comment below. And this is Bossk, the Alien Bounty Hunter sketch card, complete with acrylic splatter effect and Copics markers. And I will see you next week.